Welcome back to Battles Force, everyone. Today, I wanted to take some time to talk about the new episode of Power Rangers Beast Morphers that aired in the UK. This is episode 11 of the show, or episode 10, depending on how you count them, because we did have that weird episode that was lodged in between the 8 episodes we usually get at the beginning of the season, so one of the specials aired then, so people have been counting it up differently, but it can be either 10 or 11, whichever one you want. But this episode in particular was very interesting, and recently, with the past 2 episodes, we've been having a lot that's been going on. Now, I'm a little bit late to the party when talking about episode 9 or 10 with Dr. K, and I'll get into that into a different video, but since what I'm going to be talking about today is a little bit more fresh, I figured I'd cover that first, since I'm already late to the party on the other one. And this isn't necessarily going to be an episode review. I don't really like doing those. I'm just going to go through the highlights of the episode and the big things that did happen, not a big summary of everything that happened, but just go through the highlights. So there's this new villain called Ryjack. He came from outer space, and now he's teaming up with Evox to destroy the Rangers so that he can get some weapons and Evox can get some more effects. It looks like this villain is going to have something to do with the big dino team up, because we did get to see some putties as well as Vivix in this episode, which I will get into here in a little bit. But Ryjack also seems to have the power. He has this device so he can reanimate different villains, and we also got the return in this episode of Vargoyle, which is really cool to see. And Ryjack actually had control over Vargoyle, so Vargoyle did anything and everything that Ryjack wanted him to. This return of Vargoyle, which is a villain that I really enjoyed in season 1, was short-lived because at the very end of the episode he was destroyed, but it was really cool to see him, and he was golden this time around. Not a real explanation of why that was a thing, but it really had to do with the Sentai footage that was given. So he was golden this time around. It was cool. I did like his design, but a little weird and off-putting for those of you that probably don't know about Super Sentai. So yeah, I'm really intrigued about this villain named Ryjack, and he's going to be in the next couple of episodes, at least in the next episode, and it looks like he's going to have something to do with that team up, so we could have him all the way up until episode 13. So we're going to be seeing him for a while, and it looks like this team up is going to be built up. It's not just going to happen in one episode. A lot of people were very upset about the team up only being one episode, or there not being like a multi-parter, and it looks like the Rangers themselves that are teaming up probably won't show up until that certain episode, but we're getting a build-up because Ryjack, like I said, he had the power to bring some Vivix as well as putties into play, which was really weird. So little Easter eggs and seeds are already being planted into the show for that team up, so it's going to be built up throughout the next couple of episodes, so it's not just gonna, come out of random, just come out of nowhere. They're actually building up to it, which is great to see because that doesn't usually happen. They're actually taking their time here and making sure that the reveal is big and it makes sense. And considering they're doing this, I wouldn't be surprised if that scene with Devin and Jason that we saw in the Season 2 trailer would happen in episode 12, or the episode before the big team up. Because if they're building it up like this, and that scene seemed really weirdly placed, if it was going to be in the middle of an episode, I could see Jason showing up at the end of episode 12 right before the team up, and the whole reveal, and then it ends, and then we go to the team up episode. I don't know, that was just a little idea that I had, but another big point of the episode, which I haven't even gotten to yet, is the introduction of a character named Captain Chaku. Now, this character in Super Sentai I know is another Toku character from a Metal Heroes show. I'm not exactly sure what that show was, but I did really enjoy it, and it was very similar to the Sheriff Skyfire thing that we had over in Ninja Steel. It was a team up in Super Sentai that made sense because there was a show to go along with those Metal Heroes that were in there, but since we're over here with Power Rangers, these characters have never been before seen, so they did have to be introduced. But Captain Chaku is a part of an intergalactic space force, so very similar to Sheriff Skyfire, I would think. Maybe they're connected somehow, so that's kind of cool. And he has been tracking down Ryjack and trying to destroy him, so there was some conflict with the Rangers there. The Rangers thought that Captain Chaku was evil. They locked him up for a bit. He eventually escaped or was let out. Some things happened there. I won't spoil everything for you guys, but there was a really cool introduction with that character, and it looks like it's going to be carried over into the next episode. We know from episode summaries that Captain Chaku, which be trying to make his way home in the next episode, but maybe it'll carry over a little bit more up until maybe the team up. I don't know, because Ryjack seems to be like he's staying and Captain Chaku has a part in that. I wouldn't be surprised if he was just kind of around Grid Battle Force for a little while. They definitely use the main fight footage of Captain Chaku from Super Sentai, so they really don't have much to do with him anymore, I think. But at the end of the episode, Devin and Captain Chaku did this huge battle with Vargoyle, or the newly reanimated Vargoyle and destroyed him. I really enjoyed that scene. It was definitely Super Sentai footage, but it was still awesome. And it's very interesting because Captain Chaku is a character that we've never seen before, and was a whole thing over in Japan with the Metal Heroes show and Super Sentai, but here he's just coming in, and I really enjoyed his presence, and it's really cool to see the suit do some action. And considering they've been doing this for the past 2 years with Ninja Steel, or I guess 3 years with Ninja Steel and Beast Morphers, I would love to see more Tokusatsu characters cross over into Power Rangers that were from maybe Kamen Rider or a Metal Heroes show, because there are a lot of crossovers over in Japan with Super Sentai and all the Toku shows, so it would be really cool if more often we got like a Kamen Rider and Super Sentai crossover in Power Rangers, and you just give them a random name like Captain Chaku or Sheriff Skyfire. They've already been doing it with Metal Heroes. It'd be really cool to see some Kamen Rider in there as well. But this really was our first glimpse at the big crossover that we're going to be getting with the Dino team-up, and it's really cool. I love how they're building up to it. It's not just going to be this big thing that happens in one episode. No, they've already begun building up to it with these little Easter eggs and these little seeds that have been planted within this episode in particular, and we still have a couple more episodes, I believe, until that big crossover. But Captain Chaku, I really enjoyed his presence. He's going to be in the next episode of the show over in the United Kingdom. The episodes air really weirdly. I'm not sure what exactly the schedule is right now, but within the next week, we'll have that team up. But in this episode, we got Vivix, Putties, Captain Chaku, Ryjack, just a lot of big stuff that hints towards this team up, and I wanted to share that with you guys and give my thoughts. I'm very excited, and I really thought this team up was just going to be like a one-episode thing. Jason just appears, and all these things just appear, but they're taking their time with it, and I'm very happy that they're doing that. Guys, these last few episodes have been insane. There's been so many different references and Easter eggs and build up to the team up, and I haven't even talked about Dr. K yet, but I'll do that in the next video. Hopefully, I will be double uploading today, so I'll give my thoughts on that. But thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this episode in particular, if you have seen it. I know it is hard to get your hands on the episodes and watch them, but you know, being a content creator, I can't necessarily like put it in the description or something because it is kind of illegal. So if you guys can just talk amongst yourselves in the comments, if one of you know how to give out the information to watch these episodes, you can go ahead and do that. I don't feel comfortable doing it myself. I don't want to get in trouble from Hasbro or whoever, but hopefully you can watch the episode, and if you have, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you all in next video. Peace.